In game development, the goal is always a delicate balance, achieving maximum visual fidelity without sacrificing performance. You want those intricate details, the bevels, the scratches, the complex geometry, but you need them to run at 60 frames per second on a standard GPU or a potato PC, by the way. Today, we're bridging the gap. We're going to cover the essential steps of optimizing your 3D models for games using one of the most powerful techniques in the industry, normal map baking. We'll be transferring the high frequency details of a high density sculpt directly onto a clean, performance-friendly, low-poly mesh. And the question that comes to your mind right now is, are we going to lose any details? And the answer for this question is, see for yourself. I can see no loss in details. Believe me, this is a low-poly mesh. You can see already if I just switch back to the solid viewport. Look at that. It's just a solid mesh, nothing in there. Nothing. If we go to the wireframe, you can see this is the topology. It is very, very, very low poly. So I'm going to make the process pretty easy and straightforward so you understand how this thing works. So first of all, just prepare your high poly mesh and low poly mesh. For me, it is already prepared. So as you can see, I have the low poly mesh and the high poly mesh. So now, before I start baking and diving into how my add-on work and stuff like this, I need actually to prepare the low poly mesh, give it the UV map, the proper UV map, and as well give it the material so we can bake on a texture inside the material. So let me show you. First, we need to do a proper UV mapping. So UV mapping is kind of different from an artist to another. For me, I want to use or utilize the whole UV island because I want the maximum pixels taken from my UV unwrap. So now just select your low poly mesh, create actually a new window here. I need a new window or a new workspace thing, whatever you call it, and open up the UV editor. And if I press tab, I can go to edit mode. You can switch edit mode by just clicking on this, and you can toggle object mode or edit mode. So we want edit mode so we can edit our object, so we can give it new attributes, new stuff. So as you can see here, our UVs, there is no UVs, so it is empty. So we need to create UVs. So there is the default UV unwrap with the smart UV project, as you can see here, and it is angle based, so you can set the angle, you can set the margin method, stuff like that. This is pretty advanced and you don't need to care about it. So the thing that matters here is actually the angle and the island margin. So you need a margin, so you have some pixels that can go out from your render or a bake, so it is safer for you. So you can create actually a bleeding. You're going to see later when we are going to bake. So a margin like pretty small, like 0.01 for example. It's not really small, but it is good. And hit unwrap, and it's going to create this. It is cool, it is good, but it's not utilizing the whole island, and some parts is smaller than other parts, and that will create some variation in the pixel density or pixel density. So as you can see here, the margin is good. So as you can see, there is enough room for the bake to bleed and create a smooth transition. But I don't like this unwrap. It is perfect. It's going to create an even quads or squares. Yeah, squares. We can see that if we add a material. So let's add a material. Let's split this in half and create or go to shader editor, create new material, and we're going to create a new image texture by hitting Shift A, search for image texture like this, click on it, and let's add new. Let's call it UV shake like this, and 2K or 1K just for view. We only want to test our UV unwrap, is it good or not. And let's do generated type UV grid like this, hit new, and we need to connect our UV so we can read it correctly. So Shift A, search for UV map, input UV map, and click on it and select the UV map and connect it. Now basically if I connect it to the base color and go to the material preview so I can see. Let me isolate this for a moment so we can see better. Actually, I need to turn off the compositor because I don't need it right now. So this is how the UV unwrap looks like. It is good, but there is a lot of seams here. And as I said, the texel density, look, this is kind of blurred and this one is kind of sharp. It's, yeah, this is blurred a little bit and this is sharp. I don't know how to explain this, but there is that difference. But yeah, it is good. I'm not saying it's bad. It is good. It is like near perfect, but it's not perfect for my purpose, for what I need. So I'm going to show you my technique of unwrapping this kind of objects. This thing is not going to work for every single object. So you might use the smart project for unwrapping some different stuff. But as you can see, I don't want that many seams. So there is a seam here, there is a seam here, and also down here I can see another seam here, another seam here. Oh my days. So that will create a bit of a mess later on. So how we can fix that? So let's go back to edit mode and let's go back to solid view as well. You can click on it right in here. So you can switch between material preview and solid viewport. Okay, good. So how we can assign seams? So basically seams, it is what we are telling Blender where to cut. So the seam is a place to cut. So we can tell Blender cut here, cut here. So it is pretty straightforward. So I'm going to select this row of edges and assign it as a seam. Okay. So click U, and then click mark seam. So basically I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So this is the 3D object. I'm telling Blender to add a seam here. That means the object right now is going to be unwrapped like this, but not like this. Okay, it's going to be unwrapped like this somehow, but still we need to add more cut, so it is going to be like this. So we need to cut vertically like this. So we cut horizontally. So this cut, it is actually this cut. It's seen here, but we need this cut. And this cut is going to be the vertical one. So let's tap again to edit mode, select this one. Actually, you can select the straight ones like this and do U and do mark seam. Okay. And let's do A and do U and do just unwrap with conformal. Is going to work perfectly, I think. I don't know. It worked, but there is an issue, as you can see. I don't know why, but yeah, it shouldn't be like this. Let's try and fix this. So to fix it, you can click A to select everything, press N, and go to the Mew3 add-on. So this is a free add-on, by the way, for UV mapping and stuff like this. Just go to Edit Preferences and install it with Git extensions. It is pretty straightforward, or just search for it in the internet and download it. But I recommend you to do it from Blender extensions itself. So anyways, I'm going to click Gridify, and that will straighten all the faces and stuff like this. But as you can see, it is off the UV island, so it is outside of the bounds of the UV. So I need it to go back and fill in the UV space. To do that, I just click on normalize, and it's basically going to stretch all the faces. So it is taking the whole UV space, and that will guarantee that you have all the pixels, all the pixel density, which is crazy. You can fix that stretching if you don't want that stretching. You can scale it a little bit so it is more of a quad-like, but that will remove kind of some pixels, and that will waste your time a little bit because it's going to be blurry at the end of the day. But if you don't care about stretching, it doesn't matter, you know. If you want to see the stretching, by the way, that's a question. Maybe someone will ask it in the comments, so I'm going to answer it right now. I'm in the future, you know. So just go to the overlays and enable the UV stretch, and that will tell you the stretching. So anything near blue, kind of magenta, kind of, I don't know what this color is, it is perfect. That's perfect. Cyan is perfect. There is no problem at all. But going from green, yellow, red and orange, that is the danger zone. So you don't want your UVs to look like that. So right now our UVs is perfect. So this is a simple object, by the way, but for complex objects, just think of it like you have a paper and you fold in it. How you fold it? Just cut it. That's it. It's super easy. And yeah, maybe tell me in the comments if you want an add-on that do UV unwrapping like automatically. Something simple. I'm not talking about something huge and complex. I can't do complex stuff. I just do simple stuff like these. So perfect, perfect, perfect. So our UV map is perfect. So let's see it. How does that looks like? And you're going to be kind of shocked because it's not going to look like how you think it's going to look. It is going to be stretched a little bit. So let's go to the material preview. And as you can see, as I told you guys, there is stretching. So as you can see, there is stretching. Yeah, we talked about that. There is stretching, but what we don't see is actually seams. We don't see any seams, maybe one seam because we have already assigned that seam, but it is seamless. Look, the seam is already on the top and it is seamless. Look at that. So we successfully created the perfect UV unwrap for this object. Okay, it is perfect for me, but it's not perfect in terms of squareness of the UV island, but it is perfect, perfect, perfect. So we are going to bake it right now and see how we can bake. Okay, but first let's make sure that we have an empty image texture and create new and call it normal test, like this. Make sure it is the resolution that you wanted, for example 1K, which is 1024, or double it by 2 and you're going to get 2K, and remove that and make it blank and hit a new image. Or you can select, by the way, the 32-bit float. That will kind of remove the banding if you have like a complex shader and it has some gradients and you don't want these gradients to have banding in them, so you can click on the 32-bit float. Since we are just going to bake normal map, so we don't care about banding or something like this, so just click on the new image. And one thing to change is the color space, so change it to non-color space, and that's it. Now you're done. Just unplug all these so it is unplugged to anything, so it's not plugged to anything, like this. Perfect. And yeah, make sure it is the selected image texture. Now let's go back to the solid viewport slash, so we can go back here. And now we're going to do baking. And for baking, we're going to use this add-on that I have made. And the link for this add-on is in the link in the description. Just click on it and it's going to redirect you to my Patreon. It is a good way to support the channel, to make it upload more videos and stuff like this and improve the quality a little bit. So please do that, and that helps me a lot. And thank you so much for all the Patreons. Huge thanks to them because they make my day and my life. Thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimasu. Okay, so this is the add-on, Bake Master Ultra. It's a good name. Yeah, it's a good name. I like it. I like it a lot. So as you can see here, so these are the settings. By the way, we are in Eevee, and you can switch the rendering engine just from the add-on itself, so you don't need to go back and forth between the rendering engine in the render properties, which is perfect. So cycles, and after that, you need to choose what do you want to bake. Is it going to be combined, MV occlusion, stuff like this, because we want to bake the details, because it's going to be optimized for a game engine or for a game. We need to bake normal maps. Normal maps create that details. And here's the catch. Game engines use different types of normal maps. Some uses OpenGL and some uses DirectX. For example, Unity uses OpenGL, I think, and Unreal Engine uses DirectX. So you have the option right in here. Either use OpenGL or DirectX, and you can use it for object space or tangent space. So it's up to you. And for this bake, we're going to use selected to active because we want to transfer the details from this mesh to this mesh. And if you want to do not selected to active, you want to bake from multi-resolution, don't select this and you can bake from multi-resolution modifier. But for now, we want to bake from selected to active. So we need them actually to be in the same spot. So let's just move this by -3, I believe. Yeah, that's the correct number. So just move them at the same exact location. So they are overlapping a little bit. And here we have a problem. The problem is that the high poly mesh is kind of sticking out, but it's not something terrible. Maybe for your case, the high poly mesh is outside by a lot. And here you need to actually make the low poly mesh a little bit bigger. So it is kind of holding that shape. Okay, not a lot, but a little bit bigger. And we're going to fix that actually if you can't actually make the low poly bigger, so you don't want it to be distorted or something like that. So we're going to fix it right now with another thing that this add-on can do, which is pretty useful. And I really wanted that feature a while ago because I see it in Substance Painter and it is pretty useful. But why it's not in Blender? It is in Blender, but you can't actually see it. That's the whole point. So we need to do selected to active. So let's select the high poly mesh, make sure it is selected, shift select the low poly mesh. And by the way, one note, you need to have a perfect normals, like normals are facing the correct way. So for me, let's go to the overlay and make sure the face orientation is enabled. If you see any red, that means that your normals are flipped. And for me here, it is clean and clear. I can see no red. Perfect. So now let's do baking. Let's make sure that we are going to bake from selected to active, and it is turning on auto smart values. It's going to set up for us extrusion and ray distance because right now I don't have any cage. Like usually when you bake from selected to active, you have a cage object that's holding both your high and low poly inside it. And that is the purpose of cage. And Blender casts rays inside that cage. And if a ray hit some object or some detail in the high poly mesh, it is going to cast it on the low poly mesh. And that's how you can capture data to the low poly mesh. Right now, we don't have cage. So what is the solution? The solution is we're going to use this auto smart values. So it's going to set up for us the extrusion and ray distance. And it's not going to work every single time. It might have some weird values. Like it's not going to detect everything clearly and cleanly every single time. If you have like an organic shape that is sticking a lot or something like that. So don't rely on it. So I'm going to show you how to change these values. But most importantly is we need to see these values like in the viewport. So I can see them, so I can actually determine if they are going to work or not. And for that, just click on Enable Visualizer. And you can see right now, this is the dummy cage. Yep, I'm calling it the dummy cage. We don't have a real cage, but it is a dummy cage. So think of it like a real cage so we can see it. And right now, it is set to auto smart values, but still, it's not applied yet. So we need to apply the smart values right now. Click on it, and it's going to apply these smart values. And as you can see here, it is holding both the low poly and the high poly. So let's just go to the front view so we can see if something is sticking out of the cage or not. And from what I'm seeing right now, nothing sticks out. And if you have the problem of these details kind of sticking out of the cage, the dummy cage, you can disable the auto smart values and play with the extrusion yourself. So the extrusion is the dummy cage size, okay? And the ray distance is the rays that is inside the cage, okay? The rays that will capture the data. So just turn them up, not really high because that will waste your time, rendering time or baking time actually. So just keep it like this. I'm just going to make it big a little bit. And you have the margin. This margin is actually going to create a safe area where the bake kind of go out like a bleed, and that will prevent any black pixels, any artifacts that will ruin your bake, like normal maps got ruined, like weird colors in them. Ambient occlusion got black pixels, like albedo map get some weird mushy pixels. I don't know how to explain it, but that happens a lot to me when I used the normal baking because I can see nothing. How the heck I'm going to see the margin? But right now I can see the margin. So this is the bleeding. I can see it is big enough. Okay, I can make it bigger. As you can see, I can make it 50, for example, which is the highest number by default. But you can go out. Oh, okay, it's 64. Forgive me. You can go outside. You can go like 70. You can type in any number after that, which is perfect. But for me here, I can go like to 50, so I can get the maximum margin. But one thing to mention, I said but a lot in this video. I need to mention, I need to mention that in the low poly mesh, the UV map is actually, where is the UV map? Yeah, I need to tap, tap, hit A to select everything. Yeah, perfect. As you can see, I don't have any space for margins. So I need to scale this a little bit. So I have some space for the margin. So this is the margin. So the bake is going to go outside a little bit. So I need to give it some margin, some space to breathe like this. Just scale it a little bit. I think this is enough for 50 pixels. I think. I'm not sure. But anyways, that's perfect. Let's select back the high poly, shift select low poly. Everything is the same. And disable the visualizer for now because we only need to bake. And for baking, let me just make this bigger a little bit. Let's click bake and wait for things to happen. Voila, baked perfectly. I can say that it is baked perfectly, and it is DirectX, so we need to set up that for Blender to read it because Blender reads OpenGL, but with the current update for 5.1, the normal map supports DirectX and OpenGL. Yay! Now, let's press N. We don't need you right now. We're going to need you later when we are going to bake all these, but not for this video. It's enough, okay? I'm going to select this and slash so I can isolate it. And now we need to view these details that we have created. Let's add the normal map. Shift A, add normal map. Click on it. Good. Connect the color to the color and change it from OpenGL to DirectX. And now we need a simple diffuse like this, or you can add the principal PSDF, whatever that you prefer, and just connect the PSDF to the surface. Right now, let's go to the material preview so we can see the details. I need just to change this to a gray color, for example. And let's look at that. Amazing. That baked amazingly. I can see that it is perfect. You can see that there is some weird stuff, but this is because of the bottom areas where the shadow is. Okay, I don't know how to explain it, but once you get the light kind of interact with the bottom of this, you won't notice anything. This is how the object is, because as you can see, this is a sharp corner, but with smooth shading, it is looking like this. Okay, but still it is a sharp corner. But anyways, it baked correctly. I can see that little details. You can see the little details, which is amazing. This is only a 2K version of the let's see if it's a 2K. Okay, just make sure, we need to make sure that the image is 2K. Yeah, image is 2K. If it was 4K, you will capture a lot of details. And the UV unwrap that we did actually helped a lot here. We can see no seams. There is no seams, no obvious seams at all. I can see no seams, nothing at all, which is perfect. I can see, look at that, like this crevice, this hole, this thing, this groove, I don't know what it's called. It is perfect. Look at that, it's perfect. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Even for a close-up shot, you can notice nothing at all. You can notice nothing. If this was kind of a little bit smooth and high poly, a little bit, not too much, like a little bit, like a one level of subdivision, that will make it amazing. Right now, you can't apply subdivision because it's going to ruin your UV map. Okay, so let's try something. Let's bake another map. For now, we want to try to bake albedo, which is base color, okay? So we need to set a nice color, for example, this color, okay? Maybe, or we can bake everything at once. Let's try and add, for example, another diffuse. Another diffuse. Give it same as this color, but a bit kind of like this. Let me see how this thing looks like so we can determine what we're baking actually. And let's add Shift A, ambient, ambient occlusion, for example, and use this to merge or kind of mix these together and use the color for these to work. Or you can use the AO. Use only local, and actually looks weird. It looks weird right now. I don't know why. I have no clue. Let me switch these together like this. Oh, that's perfect. So I want to bake this. I want to bake this. So let's select back the albedo and press N, and we make sure, yeah, it is cycles. Perfect, perfect. Everything's perfect. Ambient occlusion, not ambient occlusion, combined. We need to bake combined, which is going to bake everything, anything, any possible thing. While we are waiting for baking, make sure to subscribe, leave a like and comment, and share this video with your friends, okay? And it's done. Yep, it's done. I just isolated this thing and redo the bake, and voila. Now, okay, don't mind the unwrap, okay, because that's the high poly mesh. Okay, I'm just bake on the high poly mesh instead of the low poly because I want to show you how to bake also the albedo and stuff like this. And I'm using if I go expand this, I'm using the direct and indirect, so the light actually matters here. If you want only base color without anything else, turn off direct and indirect. I wanted to add this feature into the add-on, but I don't want to like ruin it right now. Maybe in a future update, I'm going to add all these settings to here, so you can everything change it from that. But anyways, default works. Now let's see if the bake is done perfectly, or am I missing something? You might see seams and stuff like this and pixelation because the unwrap is not the best, okay? Now, let's do another diffuse. Click backspace so we can reset this, use UV map, or doesn't, you know, like doesn't matter. And let's view it. You can see that there is some artifacts because of the unwrap that we did. And the big margin, oh my days, the big bleed. I did a big, wait. I can fix it, I can fix it. I can select this again. And the bleed here, 100. I did a mistake. Sorry. It shouldn't be 100. It should be a small number. Even, oh, 10 is perfect. Yeah, 10 is perfect. I can see that there is another issue here. I don't know what this issue is going to be. Oh, let me turn on the overlays. I want to see. Oh, I can see why. The unwrap. It's caused by the unwrap. The unwrap is super bad. It's super bad. Let's try and bake again because I forgot if I baked or something or not. Now let's view it. Moment of truth. Ignore this part. Yeah, this part. Ignore it, and also this part. Everything else looks perfect. Look at that. It's perfect. It's amazing. You can see that there is these is just the places where the UV unwrap kind of, you know, up. I can't say the F word because Patreon will kick me off. But as you can see, that's why I told you guys that the way that you unwrap your model matters a lot. So you don't see these pixels. You can see right now that there is black pixels. You can see that there is a black pixel. And this is the issue when it comes to a bad baking or a good baking. So yeah, keep that in mind, guys. And I hope you guys understand something new in this video. And if you want the add-on, just go in the link in the description to support me and as well speed up your workflow. Thank you so much and see you soon with another video. Minasan, mata ne, mata shita. Okay, yay. Okay, end of the video. What are you doing?